Hey everybody, good to see you. How you doing today? Welcome to Beetle Brad's channel. Oh yeah, we got some good stuff for you today. All right, yes, it's a beautiful sunny day today, so I thought I'd take advantage of it because we have had rain for days. Almost thought I was going to do my video in a boat for you instead, that's for sure. Golly, it's been just raining like crazy. So I got a little break in the weather, so I thought, why not do a video outside because it's a lovely day. And this is a response to one of my viewers, Day Tripper, was asking me that he used to have the album, the Russian album, and he wanted to know if I could play the end of Kansas City because he wasn't sure. He's lost his. I think that's what he was saying. He doesn't have it anymore. And he was saying that he doesn't have it anymore. But anyway, and if I could play a few seconds, and if I knew any differences on the Kansas City. So I have gone through what I have, and instead of doing just a type out response and telling him which one it was, I thought I'd do a video and say, hey, Mr. Tripper, let's trip on this and we'll show you the difference, if there is any difference. And he was basically talking about Kansas City. So I've got a UK copy, which I'm going to play first. And at the ending of Kansas City, it's a little bit longer than all the other ones. And that's the only difference is the UK copy is a little bit different. So let's give that a listen, shall we? So here we are. Like I said, it's a little bit different at the end. It drags a little longer. Here we go. Right here. If you couldn't catch it, he was saying, I'm going to Kansas City, baby, at the end. And every other copy doesn't have that. It cuts a lot quicker to that. So the English CD copy, which isn't really too hard to find, but I thought I would back up and kind of show my examples of the Russian album, which would be a lot of fun to show each and every one of you. We're starting off with Paul McCartney. And this is summer of '89, is this club sandwich. I have a bunch of the Paul McCartney. I was in the Paul McCartney fan club and have tons of these club sandwiches. You may say, Beetle Brad, what's that got to do with the Russian album? Well, this is where we're going to explain and talk about it. In the summer, Paul McCartney ended up doing this Russian album that Linda kept telling him that she wanted him to do. So the Russian album came about because Linda really wanted him to do it and just thought it'd be a great album to put out and a good album to do. And Paul was going to do this exclusively for the Russian people. It was going to be that. And so Paul put this out, and it was just going to be for Russian only. That was it. And then Paul McCartney put this out, probably maybe a month later in this publication, of saying to those in the fan club, this is an exclusive offer that you will be able to send off for the Paul McCartney Russian album. Well, this was totally unheard of and totally unknown that he was going to release this to anybody, but it was an exclusive. Like I said, here's my article. Exclusively only through Club Sandwich. And that's why it was so heavily bootlegged in the beginning, is because you couldn't buy it except through the fan club, and there was a limited production of this album. This album didn't have a huge production in the very beginning, so I'm going to start off with this copy, and this is a heavier stock. And I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, but this is heavier stock than the regular one. There's the backing. It's not in this. No, okay. Here's my record. Here's my record. Okay, now this is kind of when it gets a little tricky for me, because this is the one I think that I sent away for. And here is my letter, kind of basically letter of authenticity, and the letter from the McCartney fan club for the Russian album. So this is the legit copy of the Russian album. But when I was moving, my letter fell out. So for those of you that are my big McCartney people, if you can help me, I'm not sure which is which. So I've got this pressing, which is next, and the back of this is yellow. And I'm not sure if that's my copy or if this is the copy that was really from Paul McCartney's fan club. But that was the only way you could buy this, was through the fan club. Very rare, very, very expensive, very rare. Because there's, like I said, from here on out, I'm going to be showing nothing but bootlegs. This is a bootleg. And you can tell because the star is also very light. It's another way. And plus, it's a whole lot flimsier. The stock on my very first one, you wouldn't be able to tell unless you're picking it up. But the stock on the first one is a whole lot thicker. The jacket. So the stock, as they say, for the jacket is a lot thicker. This one's a lot more flimsier. This has a white backing as well. And then this copy is like the one I showed earlier. I got a little dust on that side. It's got the red inside. Then, now we've got a bootleg of a bootleg of a bootleg. This is another bootleg copy. This is actually kind of hard to get. And this is got the same lineup, same song, same everything, but it has a different cover, as you can see it, just Paul and Linda. Fantastic picture of Paul and Linda there. At this time, Paul was on tour, just getting ready to go on tour and do some other tour dates. And he promoted this album as well. He did it in concert lots of times of a bunch of different songs. Here's the label. Here's the label again. So you actually can find this not only just on vinyl, but you can find it on CD. You can find it in his concerts of him doing a lot of the Russian stuff. He did even a TV special about the Russian album, which I've got. There was a wasn't Rockline. The name escapes me right now on TV. That was the special. Some of you may know exactly what I'm talking about. But it was him in the studio doing the Russian album. A lot of cool stuff. And then plus he did a lot of other stuff to promote this. So for an album that was just going to be put out just in Russia, he really, really promoted it. This is a Japanese backstage pass. And this was kind of during the picture of the Russian album and a picture during the whole time of the Russian stuff. So that's pretty cool. This is not real. It's a copy. So if you're looking for this, you can buy it on CD. And here is the CD that I've got. This is the American CD. Hopefully you're not getting any glare on that. This is American CD. Which is very, very good. Same songs. Some of these are a little bit different. On the vinyl, they did have some of the different songs on these. And then we go to this one, which is kind of a different Russian album. Kind of a very first bootleg, actually, because this is so hard. This CD did come out during the time before, well, during the album, because it was so hard to get this. And this has just, I don't know if you can get that. I'll let you read that on your own. Just tons of songs on this. Great picture of Paul and Linda. There's no picture. Ooh. Almost dropped this out of there. There's no picture over here. I was kind of thinking there was. So this is kind of one of the first official bootlegs. And then we go into another bootleg that was done. And this is during the whole Russian album as well, but a lot of other stuff. This is excellent, by the way. This is Paul McCartney's Ubu Jubu series. Not all during the Russian album. There's a lot of other stuff too. Here, let me give you that back again. If you want, you can pause on your own. So take a deep breath. But that's excellent. A little tricky to find now because those are out of print. And here's volume 2, which I bought years ago as well. Really, really cool. That's the inside of that one. Like I said, I'll let you pause on your own, let you take a look, take a gander at those. And then next up is probably one of the rarest things I've got in my collection is this. This is Paul McCartney, and this is a wooden box. And it's to look a little bit rough, kind of look like it's, you know, gone through the Cold War, I guess, and all that kind of stuff. And it opens like this. This was the CD I was playing for you, was out of my copy. But this is a UK copy of the Russian album. Very, very rare, very, very nice. And this is an exclusive limited edition. They didn't number them back then, but it was just a limited edition exclusive. It has the booklet here, pretty much the same booklet as we saw before with the other ones. If anybody has the CD, I'm sorry, that was very loud. For those of you who had the CD, it's the same thing. It's got some great pictures of Paul. Got your notes here. Sorry this video is going a little bit longer than normal. Nothing really rare out of the ordinary, but just some very good pictures. That's a good one. And this one is a good one. So, Day Tripper, to answer your question, the only difference in any of these Russian albums is the English copy, the British copy. If you can find a UK copy, there's the backing. The UK copy would be the only one that would have a little bit longer ending. And if that's not the one you're looking for, then you can just pick up a regular album or pick up the regular CD of it as well. And that should answer your song question about Kansas City. Nice felt. Excuse you. Well, excuse you again. Nice felt insert here, and like I said, that fits nicely for this. But yeah, as I was saying, Day Tripper, that should answer your question. If not, then you possibly just had a different bootleg version that nobody else has. But these are basically the ones that are out there, and I pretty much have got all of them that are out there. You know, like I said, unless, you know, like I said, the live stuff or some different stuff or something like that. But you can find the English one on CD. This one just happens to be frightfully rare. You can find the American CD, the British CD. You can pick those up pretty easily. So I hope that answers your question, and I hope that helps you out. And for those of you that are watching this, I hope you enjoyed it. My little trip about Paul McCartney's Russian album. So for those of you who have this album on CD, take your CD out, your vinyl out, give it a listen. I bet you haven't listened to it in a long time. So, yeah, give it a listen. Give it a listen. So that'd be fun. All right. This is a song that Paul did years ago. Great song. All right, vinyl community. As I say on my channel, I am out of here. Take care, everybody. See ya. I'm jamming out with Paul McCartney right now. See ya.